Welcome.
Oh, yes. Oh, welcome. We welcome you, journalists, for having come here for our press conference. It is all about the beginning of the extraordinary Congress of the MDC-T. As you know, it is scheduled for sometime in December. Then, Mr. Mudzuri here is one of the candidates. If ever that is, he has been nominated, well, there will be a process that will be coming first, which is the nomination process. Then if he's nominated, then he's actually saying something here so that the delegates can also see to it that whether he is also one of the contestants, whether he is nominatable. So, welcome to you. I wouldn't want to waste much of your time. Engineer, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much. Welcome, journalists. I want to appreciate your coming. It's not easy to come round. We are not in the city center, so I really want to thank you. Your time that you spent coming down here. My press statement is more about my bid, but I'll start with what has happened to me, because people want to know after my health whether I can still continue to be a contestant. There's been talk about contestants, so that's why I really needed to make this press statement. Greetings to all. On the 15th of September 2020, I announced to the world that I had tested positive for COVID-19 because, as a public figure, I had that responsibility to my country and to the world. It is unfortunate that many thought and still think that the pandemic does not exist. It is real, and it is infecting and affecting many Zimbabweans and many at large. Let us therefore continue to be cautious and take all necessary measures to prevent its spread. I tested negative to COVID-19 and I am now fully recovered and raring to go. As you can see, I'm looking much stronger and I don't have any ailment other than normal blood pressure that I have. So I am fit to run for any position in the public office. Many thanks to the hospital staff that did their best for me under difficult circumstances. I came face to face with the realities of our collapsed health delivery system. Hospitals are offering the barest minimum of care due to unavailability of adequate PPEs and medicines. Vital tests are very expensive, beyond the reach of the majority, and take long to be done. And there is a critical shortage of specialists to interpret results and attend to patients. There are no known drugs to cure COVID-19 except for the provision of oxygen and steroids to those with respiratory complications. Besides that, all the caregivers do is to create the ideal environment for self-healing. It is imperative that a cure is found. In this endeavor, the government must allocate resources towards research. We have no excuse, and we must not wait for outsiders to develop a cure for us. We must strengthen our health institutions, both the traditional herbal and the international medical systems. The Minister of Health has a responsibility to ensure professionalism retains in the health delivery system so that health goods are delivered to all who require them at affordable prices. The government must expedite the resolution of the standoff between the health personnel and the Ministry of Health. I have spent a whole lot of time reflecting on the developments in both my party MDC-T and the nation. I had the chance to reshape and perfect my vision for the party and Zimbabwe. My bid. I will reiterate my message I sent out to you on the 21st anniversary this year. I repeat, I am offering my candidature for the presidency of the MDC-T at the impending extraordinary Congress. As I said, I'm fit, I can run, and I can do it. If voted at the forthcoming EOC, I will gratefully serve as the president of our great party. With the plan of action I have, I am convinced that together we can build a formidable team of fighters for change, right from the branch to the national organs. This is the team that can defeat ZANU-PF at the polls in 2023 and make Zimbabwe work again. Our vision, a united, virtuous MDC family working together harmoniously to win the 2023 harmonized elections and delivering the Zimbabwe we all want. The agenda we need to focus our attention away from this bruising internal competition for power to the education, mobilization, and preparation of our people for the 2023 harmonized elections. The EOC must quickly be dispensed with so that the unnecessary divisions are put behind us. Coming up with Dr. Morgan Richard Trangray's successor should not be a dog-eat-dog affair, as is being suggested by our structures. The members of the party must quickly and democratically build consensus around an ideal candidate before the event. The Congress should be there to endorse the candidate, as has been our tradition since our inaugural Congress in 2000. It should not be a difficult matter, as all candidates are known to the Electoral College. The MDC-T EOC must be quintessential of a democratic process that the country, Africa, and the world would emulate. As a matter of principle, all those who respect democracy, constitutionalism, and fair play must never allow or be part of a process with a predetermined outcome, and that does not meet the above standards, which we demand from ZANU-PF all the time. Genuine democracy is the principle the heroes and heroines of the liberation struggle sacrificed for. It is one of the founding values behind the formation of the MDC. An intra-party and inter-party dialogue is a critical function of any serious leadership of any organization. Indeed, as Zimbabwean people, we must dialogue among ourselves in order to find lasting solutions to the problems that have been with us for decades. The political polarization that has brought mistrust among Zimbabweans and stalled economic progress must come to an end. It must never be the question of us and them, as we are members of the same family, where everyone, regardless of class, gender, and ethnic origin, must have equal opportunities to participate in the governance and economic activities of the country. The government's distributive authority must be used to benefit all Zimbabweans. All our youths, women, and men must be included in all government empowerment programs. To this end, our communities and different cultural groups must be organized around a shared national vision that should result in the rebuilding and respecting of our national institutions. The following will be priority areas that will be given urgent attention soon after assuming office as president of the party. Restoration of MRT House and legacy. The sacredness of MRT House, formerly known as Harvest House, which is our national headquarters, will be restored. It is an august house that must never be defiled by unnecessary and unreasonable fights. Democracy. Restoration of constitutionalism and respect for all organs of the party in collective decision-making. MDC is an institution that is respected as the largest opposition party, poised to replace ZANU-PF. It must therefore respect its values and observe international best practices governing modern democratic institutions. People's participation. In line with our tradition and values, we will resume grassroots consultations and participation in decision-making in the party. Wisdom is not preserved for the few at the top. elected officials. MPs and councillors will always come from the people. No imposition of candidates and no corruption in the selection processes. They must also deliver once elected and work to deliver the goods as the electorate expects, under strict supervision of the leadership. The Big Ten concept. We need to unite in the party and nationally. After our EOC, we will bring together all those who have been in the trenches under one banner, one big family of Democrats. All the new cadres will be accommodated. A comprehensive recruitment drive will be initiated. That will bring those who have gone away, who have walked away, who have given up hope, and will do away with what we consider factionalism. Political victims. We will update our role of political victims. My family was a victim of political violence during the 27 June 2008 presidential runoff campaign that saw hundreds of our members getting murdered in cold blood, being forced into exile by Mugabe's military regime. We need to heal and cancel the victims. We also need, if possible, if we get into power, to compensate some of the victims who have really lost their limbs, and some of them have been burned and lost their features. You can take example of people in Gerera who were burned totally, like the Gwenures. We will engage the government, political prisoners. We will engage the government on all political prisoners and negotiate with for their release. Violence, the party will reshape the youth to become a productive, self-reliant and respectable wing of the party, which will never be associated with violence. Gender, ensure equal representation of women in all leadership positions in the party. Then engage the government on the political, social and economic reform agenda for recovery, development and prosperity. Now, on the nation, I have a few points on the nation. Zimbabwe has been caught up in an international, in a transitional lockdown. We've come from the Mugabe regime, and we need to get to some understanding where the military and the culture of Mugabeism is gone. To unlock this lecture, we will initiate the first genuine attempt to seek people's concerns about problems and solutions to the lockdown through the inclusive, thorough process of research and consultation. We must adapt from the confrontational approach to persuasion, engagement, unification, and bridging gaps to achieve reforms. That is the economic, social, and political. This will eventually lead to a free, fair election that will be accepted by political players in the nation at large. Why you say that once you engage and talk, and there is trust between the military and the political groupings, it is easier to take power. And as you know, you cannot take power without the consent of the military. And right now, you have a military government. Whether you like it or not, you have to negotiate power with the powers that be. You cannot take, even if you have almost 100% votes, you may not get it. That's why you saw Mugabe move away. We need to work together to ensure that economic problems bedeviling our country, such as poverty, corruption, skyrocketing prices, erosion of income, lack of investment, become a thing of the past. The country has to focus on socio-economic development and choose dependable economic partners and destinations. The guiding principle will always be that Zimbabwean problems can only be solved by Zimbabweans when we sit down together as brothers and sisters. I always use one term that we are all related to some extent. If I ask your totem, we end up being Sekuru, Msuguru and all that. So we need that and coming together as Zimbabweans, and also preserving our culture, getting our culture to solve our problems, strengthening and respect for state institutions. There is need to reform our state institutions so that they become more robust, technical, and compliant to dictates of their respective functions. This will ensure that there are checks and balances in the governance system. If elected MDC president at the EOC, I will ensure that we get into the 2023 harmonized elections as a united family with one objective of taking over power from ZANU-PF so as to change the fortunes of Zimbabwe. We must not betray the people of Zimbabwe who in more than 20 years have invested so much into this project of change for a better Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Engineer. Maybe you can come now into question time. Maybe the first thing, the journalist who is asking the question, you should identify yourself first and the news house you are representing. Then you ask your question. Maybe we take 3 questions at a time. If there are any questions. Oh. Yes.
Thomas Madu. I'm a freelance journalist. How are your chances, Mr. Mudzuri? How are your chances of winning the MDC-T leadership?
The chances are great. I'm the only person who has been seen to be in the party with no faction, who has been seen to try to unite the people, who has worked diligently to win the previous election. You remember the 2008 election, I was the organizing secretary, and all my performances in the past as a mayor have shown that I'm someone else who can lead. My leadership is more directed towards uniting the people of the party and the nation at large. So my chances are great, and that's why I've come to announce that I'm bidding for the president so that the whole nation knows, and they can also debate. They can also debate, public can debate whether I'm suitable, and our structures can debate, and then it becomes a national thing. Being a president of a political party needs the whole nation to accept you as a leader. So that debate will inform us that are you suitable or not. But still, I feel that I'm suitable because I was the last person who was left acting as president by Morgan Tsvangirai, who had seen something in me, and he actually asked me to say, maybe he sees me as the only person who can unite the party and probably lead it to the next stage where we try to break the factions. The factions have broken the party. We can see it split.
Oh, okay, we now 2 questions first, then 3 questions, then you answer after all the 3 questions have been asked. Yes, number. So you are the second one, and then you.
Yeah, just two quick questions, Senate. In your view, your Costa Nkomo from newzimbabwe.com, is Nelson Chamisa fit to participate in this extraordinary Congress, in your view? Then number 2 is, we have seen the reservations, the objections which the electorate raised against the recently nominated PR guys who have replaced those who were recalled. Do you think that was a fair process? In your view, is that process satisfies you?
Okay. Yes.
Robert Freelance. I just want to add from what Costa has also said. Who is supposed to attend the extraordinary Congress? Because from now we have seen the suspension and some press statements saying so and so are not supposed to attend the extraordinary Congress for 1 or 2 reasons. In your own opinion, who is supposed to attend? Because it seems like there is a grouping that is being created to attend the MDC-T extraordinary Congress.
No, I don't think there is a grouping. If it is being created, that is why I say we should not have a Congress that is sharp. We need a Congress that is seen to be transparent. But what has happened is the people who should attend the Congress are the 2014 structures, right? But If you choose to be with another organization, because the time has elapsed, if you choose to be with another organization, you cannot go and choose a president, then go back to another organization. That should be very clear to you. Somebody who has moved to ZANU-PF, we don't want to use Nelson's party, but if you have moved to ZANU-PF, we understand that you have moved to ZANU-PF. Then you can't come back and say, I need my position in the 2014 structure to vote, because time has elapsed. You only those who remain in the party and those positions which remain in the party will be allowed to vote. Now, there are certain characters who have already moved away. They've said they've got their own party. You don't need to say it's Nelson Chamisa. Chamisa has already said he's not coming. So I don't know why you're asking me, because ask Nelson. He said he's not coming to the Congress. He has got his own party.
If he comes? Will you welcome him?
I'm not the one who welcomes him. It is the rule of the party. He says he has got his party. Isn't that what he said? He says he's running his party, and he has had his 21st anniversary, separate from others. And he says he has formed another political grouping. So I cannot answer for him right now. But I talked to him when the judgment came out. I'm the one who phoned him to say, let's talk. Let's look at this judgment squarely in the face, and we need to come together and probably see how best we don't end up with problems. We must address this. I did it after my colleagues, it was Komichi and Mwonzora had said, what do we do? I said, let's reach out to the senior guys. The senior guys must talk. If we talk with Chamisa and find common ground, I don't think there is a problem, because we came from one basket. But if he refuses to talk, saying he has got another outfit, don't expect us to go and pray for him, because the problems which are heavy were caused by him, because he insisted single-handedly when he took over presidency, and that he would not go for an extraordinary Congress, which is something that is constitutional. So the problems we are having were caused by him, and we are asking him to say, let's look at this judgment. Today, he has fired me. You remember I tweeted that I can't be fired from a non-existent party. Don't take it to one side. We were fired. Chamisa said he has fired me, Mwonzora, and Komichi through Job Scala. Job Scala announced to you guys, didn't he? So when he announced, so you expect him to fire, then he is not fired. I don't think it's fair. If you are now firing, it becomes deep politics. But we need to talk. What I'm advocating for is, I need to talk to Nelson, I need to talk to everyone, my colleagues, so that we find common ground. There is no way we will win by fighting, by abusing each other. But we need to talk. And when we talk, it doesn't mean we have an answer there. The answer will come to say, how do we end up coming together? Maybe now, maybe later. But there is no time to come together for December. We need to choose those who have selected the route of constitutionalism. He has chosen the route of keeping his own party.
You spoke of transparency. The people that are coming to the extraordinary Congress, are we not going to see new people being also factored in? How are you going to vet these people?
We have got lists of names. If we follow the law, if no one plays crooked game, we should have only those positions that are leaving. That were in the 2014 structure. We don't know, there are no gap fillers. If you are gap filled, you are just meant to cover a certain position. So we are not expecting everyone to be there. Those who are dead are not replaced, especially after the death of our President Tsvangirai, because that is the time we start. We should have had an extraordinary Congress long back, but now it's delayed. Even if you end up with 600 people, those who choose to remain in the party, and this is the party that Tsvangirai left.
I think there's a question that you skipped on the PRCs, the people that were elected, and the objections that the electorate raised. Was that process satisfying?
I didn't see the objections. I might have my own thinking around those things, but these things are done legally. I thought they are being done legally. And once you go to a legal process, it's not easy for me to comment because, as you know, when something is said to have been determined through courts, it becomes, once a judgment is made, especially with the highest court, it becomes a judgment that goes through. So those who were replaced, I'm not sure of the objections that came through. Maybe I missed the objections. I didn't see the objections. I'm sorry I didn't see them. Maybe I was still in hospital when the objections came.
There were over 7,000 objections to these people that your party has elected to replace the PRCs.
And also to add from what was I said, some of the party members are saying the people that are replaced the record one came from Madame Khupe's camp.
No, I think it's an observation that can be noted, and it shouldn't happen that way, but it's something that can be resolved. What I'm saying is, it might be, it's not that it might, I think it might be a genuine complaint. It might not be easy to resolve now because it's already done, but I think in future we are going to make sure that there is reasonable understanding and we look at all those things. And also, we need to choose a president. Don't forget, some of these differences come because once we choose the president who replaces Tsvangirai, there will be a lot of different controls that go with the party, and that person should preside over. And Dr. Khupe is only taking her position as deputy. She's acting, and she keeps that position for a while, for the time being. Hence, I have mentioned we need this thing done so that we don't continue to have differences.
Maybe the last round of questions.
Yes.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
Senator, you said Zimbabwe is under a military junta. Is that constitutional in your view?
No, what I mean.
No, next question.
Okay. I see Mr. Chamanikere is here. Is he in a way endorsing your candidature? Just arrived now.
But he's a member of the party.
But is he endorsing you?
If you can put it aside, then you can be answered later. Yes?
Elias Mudzuri from 263 chat. Some time way back, there were reports that you were pushing for a dialogue between Madame Khupe and Nelson Chamisa. Can you confirm this? If it's true, what would have hampered the dialogue?
Okay, then maybe you can start answering his question.
Yes, the military junta government. That's what
I didn't say that.
You said Zimbabwe is under a military government. Whether we like it or not, we have to negotiate. That's the option that we have. That's what you say in a statement.
Don't you know that it's
Yeah, then my question is that constitutional? But that's my question precisely. If we are under a junta government, is that constitutional?
No, it is. It is. It's by fairness. It is. Did someone go to elections? They went to elections. Didn't they go to elections?
So if they were elected, there is nothing wrong with them being the junta, because they were elected by the people.
No, I said we are under a military government. And I told you in my explanation that with the military, even if you get 100% votes, if you don't negotiate with power, you don't get it. That is worldwide norm. Anywhere in the world, how did they take down Mugabe? He was the commander-in-chief. It is only the military, so you have to negotiate with power. The military. If you don't if you want to understand, if you want the semantics, you can go into semantics. But if you understand the meaning of that, the meaning is you must understand that who brought Mnangagwa into power first time. So if you understand that, then you know what I mean. I'm not saying he's there illegally. He still went into elections. But if you can't infer as a journalist, maybe I'm inferring wrongly. You said, I think Mr. Chamanikere is a member. He's the organizing secretary. So he has to see that I'm doing the right thing. I don't think if he wants to endorse me, that's another story. But members, senior members, those who want should come and listen to me talking. It's my launch.
The issue of dialogue.
The issue of dialogue. You know, I'm not sure when that was agreed, that when it was said to Chamisa and us, the dialogue. The best dialogue I had was when I phoned him to say, let's talk. I'm the one who talked. I don't know of any other dialogue that came between Nelson Chamisa and Madam Khupe that came to the party. It was just in the news. I saw it in the news, but we never discussed it. I've been given the task to talk to most of the senior members, as a senior member myself, to say let's come together and unite before when the when the court judgment came out, the Supreme Court. Don't forget, there was an initial judgment before the Bell Congress. The initial judgment that came from Madam Michelle, Judge Michelle, told us to go to the Extraordinary Congress, which we could have done because we had no election coming, and we could have gone over it with Nelson. Then after that, when it came again, we tried to talk to Nelson, and we'll talk to him. But this time, as I told you, the situation needs us to come at senior level. I would want to talk to all senior members so that we understand each other, but not for this Congress. I think it might be too late for the Congress. If you want to do it in December, they would be very difficult to negotiate. When someone says, I've got my own party, and if someone belongs to another political party, our constitution simply says you cannot belong to two political parties or aid another political party. So we have gone onto a position where we need to unite sometime later. But right now, we need to come together and choose our best foot forward to lead the MDC-T. And that should be the debate in the nation. The nation must debate and throw us out and choose the right candidate. And our structures must choose the right candidate as our best foot forward to unite the party and the nation.
Oh, thank you so much. I think we've come to the end of our press conference, unless there is an outstanding question from elsewhere. Otherwise, we declare the press conference over. Thank you very much.